Hi guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plunk production, and in this video I'm going to be giving you an update, but not a channel update for once. Yes, an actual Blu-ray update, a standard high definition Blu-ray and a 4K Blu-ray at that. But not only that, we are talking, or I'm updating you on my collection in terms of the boutique label Arrow Video. Yes, I've splurged a little bit this month, shall we say, on a few Arrow Video box sets. We'll get to those in a moment. I do have a drink of a little bit of Coke left from yesterday, to be honest. I want to take a swig of this. Feel free to grab your own beverage of choice, settle down to this video. So what this video is going to be is purely just talking you through the purchases, and I will be doing separate videos on each of these box sets over the course of this weekend. I did record a short today, but just to let you know, I do also have a bit more of a deeper dive into another thing I've ordered, which is the Hellraiser, the Arrow Video Hellraiser Quartet of Torment 4K release that's coming out on the 20th of October. Really excited for that. So without any further ado, the first thing that I'm going to show off, that probably is no surprise to some people, because as a couple of YouTubers have joked about, this is all over YouTube at the moment, and it is the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest 4K set from Arrow Video. I got the red set because the yellow set is now out of print. For those wondering what I mean by that, there is a yellow set that is called, sort of follows the motif of Bruce Lee's famous yellow jumpsuit from Game of Death. However, that has now sold out. That was exclusive to Arrow Video's website. I had to cancel my pre-order. I did have it on pre-order. Had to cancel my pre-order because I had to get my phone replaced. So didn't have the money at the time. And when I finally got round to purchasing it on Arrow Video, at the time I went to purchase it, they were out of stock on the 4K set. Only had the Blu-ray set. But I managed to buy this off of Amazon. It was £10 more expensive than it would have been from Arrow Video. Also, the price fluctuated from £120 back out to £130, back down again. I'm not even sure what was going on. I'm just really glad that I got this. One thing I want to say in this particular video, I was umming and ahhing whether I was actually going to buy this set, to be honest with you. I was thinking, am I that big of a Bruce Lee fan? All that kind of stuff. But I've actually watched two of the films on Sky Cinema. So Stripey Rambles, shout out if you watch any of my videos. I'm not sure if you do, but hey, hello. Stripey Rambles, when he uploaded his video of him unboxing and showing off this set, said that if you're in the UK and you subscribe to Sky Cinema, that they have the everything but, they have the Golden Harvest films, everything but Enter the Dragon. That's probably because Warner Brothers are being dicks about Enter the Dragon. I've got a whole video that I'm going to shoot at some point about how I do not like how Warner Brothers are behaving and treating and allow others to treat Enter the Dragon. For instance, Enter the Dragon in the set is on a standard Blu-ray, standard HD Blu-ray, because Warner Brothers wanted to release their own 4K, which is actually releasing this Monday as we speak, and there's a more deluxe version coming out in September, the same month that they're also going to release that big 4K deluxe set that I've currently got on pre-order. Still not sure if I'm going to keep that pre-order, but we'll see what happens in the future. But I'm really, really not impressed with how Warner Brothers are handling Enter the Dragon, or letting other people handle Enter the Dragon. But as I was saying, all of the Golden Harvest films are on Sky Cinema. I've watched two of them, thoroughly enjoyed them. I watched Game of Death and I watched Fist of Fury. I've already seen the Jet Li version of Fist of Fury, which is technically a remake, but really enjoyed them. So I thought, you know what, I would purchase this set. I'm very glad I did. Arrow keep outdoing themselves. I'm not sure how they're managing it, but every single release that they seem to release, as a big release like this, everyone on the internet says, oh, this is the best release yet, this is the best release yet. This is the best release yet. I don't know how they manage to keep pulling this off, but this really is the best release yet. If you umming and ahhing between the Blu-ray and the 4K, in the UK, there's only £10 difference between the two. And I would say go for the 4K. Not necessarily because of the 4K component, because of the HDR component. I was pointing up here because when the cellophane was on there, there was a HDR sticker there. But because of the HDR really makes the colours pop. It really makes Jet Li's. Sorry, thinking of Jet Li in the remake of Fist of Fury, which was actually called Fury of Fist. They swapped around the naming. There's also a Jackie Chan version of Fist of Fury out there, which is at some point I'm gonna do a video on Fist of Fury. I've actually sort of touched upon it in one of my reviews that I've done of the Jet Li Fist of Fury, but it gets nuts, to be honest. Anyway, moving on. What was I saying? Yeah, Bruce Lee's famous yellow jumpsuit really jumps out at you. Ironically, the yellow jumpsuit. So yeah, absolutely, I would say recommend this. It is a glorious set. As I said, I'm going to do a standalone video on this, but it's very much worth it. If you've got the money, then go for it. I will say maybe if you can pull the trigger sooner rather than later, because these are disappearing off of the internet rather quickly. I was kind of surprised how quickly the yellow box set, both the Blu-ray and the 4K, disappeared, and how quickly the 4K version of this from Arrow themselves disappeared. So pick it up while you can, because it's probably going to be out of print very soon, to be honest with you. So I'm actually being very careful I don't drop that. So the next two box sets I have to show off are actually connected. And I was actually commenting on another YouTuber's video of their own unboxing of the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest set, and that was Euphoria Pictures. And the way Keith, his name is, was responding or reacting on video was like, I'm trying to think of, like he was about to go bungee jumping is the best way I could perceptively to me, is he was sat there as if he was about to go on, climbing up a mountain without any harness, without any ropes or anything, or about to bungee jump without the bungee cord or something. He looked terrified. And why he was terrified is because he bought the Bruce Lee box sets blindly. He didn't know whether he'd enjoy it or not. It was a recommendation from a friend, but he looked genuinely terrified. And I did not understand why he looked genuinely terrified. So I commented on his video, and there was a bit of back and forth between us, and it got a little bit terse, shall we say. At this point, I'll apologise for my conduct in the comment section if Keith or anybody else from that video decides to watch this video. Hopefully we can forget that ever happened. But somebody from another channel, Mind Over Movies, I think it's called, they pointed out my hypocrisy. Because one thing that I said is I've made many expensive blind buys and have never regretted doing any of it. Well, they pointed out that I sold a set either earlier this year or late last year. This is an expensive set. And they sort of said, well, you sold that set, so, you didn't think the money for that was worth it. And what was the set that I sold? It was the SureScope Volume 1 set. So, here's the J card. So one thing I'm going to say before I get too far into the actual talking about the set, I bought this from CX, the same with the other set that's connected to this. You probably know what the set is. So I bought this from CX. I was worried about its condition. It's perfect condition, and these were incredibly well wrapped. Just perfection when it came to how wrapped they were. So I'm really impressed with the service from CX. I know there's a lot of people on the internet right now giving them some shit, to be honest, because of them hiking up their delivery costs, post and packaging costs. However, if the kind of packaging I got for this is the kind of standard they're going to keep to now, I can see why they've upped their P&P costs. But yes, I bought this. When did I buy this? Last year at some point, in anticipation for the SureScope Volume 2 set, and then never ended up buying the SureScope Volume 2 set. More on that in a moment. So I ended up selling this. I think it was earlier this year actually. It was to buy another set that I've got upstairs, the Battlestar Galactica Ultimate Collection, which is a really nice collection and goes for a very pretty penny on Amazon nowadays. So I was really happy to find that in CX for the price I did. But one thing that Mind Over Movie said is you could have kept this, you could have dipped into it here and there, and then you could have grown to appreciate this. Because one thing I said in my video when I spoke about me pre-ordering the yellow version of the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest set was that I like fight choreography. I've got a real thing for fight choreography. And then this Mind Over Movies person sort of said, well, don't you like classic movies? Don't you like classic choreography? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it was very much a case of I didn't understand why Euphoria Pictures was getting so terrified over making a blind purchase. He wasn't understanding why I'd sold this set, even though I like fight choreography, and it sobered me up a little bit. Made me eat a bit of humble pie. So, gone ahead and bought this. I don't need to talk too much about this because I do have a video on my channel going over when I originally purchased this, but this particular piece is in really good condition, and there will be another follow-up video on that in a minute. And you probably guessed what's coming next, but I've gone ahead and bought the Volume 2 box set. Reason being is Volume 1 was actually really nicely cheap on CX's website. This was a little bit more expensive, but yeah, one thing I really do like about this set though is that's actually a Jet Li film in here, and I'm really looking forward to checking that out when I get round to it. I may even watch that film first, to be honest, because I really do like Jet Li. So really happy to have Volume 2 in the collection, and I've heard there's some real good movies in here, like the 36th Chamber of Shaolin is a popular among martial arts fans and stuff like that. And Mind Over Movies was talking about the Five Venoms, which is in the first set, which is another kind of well sought after set. So they have released some of these singly. They are also releasing other martial arts films that aren't from the Shaw Brothers catalogue that aren't on these sets. However, some of the rarer movies that go for really high prices now are on these sets. And actually, ironically, it's cheaper to buy these sets than it is to buy those individually. But there will be, again, a separate video on this. They are planning volumes 3 and 4, but they're not going to be focused on SureScope's or the Shaw Brothers martial arts films. They're going to be veering into what else the Shaw Brothers did. I think because Heath from Serial at Midnight is in contact with the people behind these sets, and they have said there may be 1 or 2 martial arts films on the upcoming sets, but all of the films will focus on the other aspects of the Shaw Brothers catalogue. But apparently they are releasing those martial arts films separately. So there you go. I'm actually going to put that back over there with the other sets. There we go. And then finally the Bruce Lee set. So that has been my update on some Arrow video pickups. I am going to do a Arrow video overview of all my collections soon. Ironically, all of my Arrow video collections are foreign films at the moment. I've got the SureScope box set, I've got the Bruce Lee box set, I've got the Gamera box set behind me, and then I've got the Battle Royale Blu-ray set that came out many years ago. So all of my Arrow video releases at the moment are of foreign films, ironically. So kind of funny when you think about it. So until next time, guys, please take care, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.